7:03 p.m.
You doing the pledge
Yeah,
again?
we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. President, I think now that we need to say that there was no votes taken.
I think we did say
I don't know if it has to go on this part.
It's not on the agenda for this meet. This is the regular meeting, so the roll call, Madam Secretary.
Andrew Abanowitz.
Here.
Mary Ann Turner, here. Kelly Davis.
Here.
Charlie Masterberti.
Here.
Tim Neville.
Here.
Rich Stroni.
Here.
Rob Kwasnicki.
Here.
Kathleen Popper.
The fire evacuation notice, there's two means of exit from this room. One is to the rear of the room, and the other is to the right of the audience down the stairs. And I would ask the board that we move other business up so that we can.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay.
Favor?
Roll call, I guess.
Sure. Andrew Abanowitz.
Yes.
Mary Ann Turner, yes. Kelly Davis. Charlie Masterberti.
Yes.
Tim Neville.
Yes.
Rich Stroni. Rob Kwasnicki.
Yes.
Kathleen Popper.
All right, welcome, Deputy Mayor.
Good evening. I come on behalf of the town. Mayor Crissati had a conflict in his schedule, so he sent me in his place. So I don't know if the camera can grab this. We have a certificate of appreciation for Maurice LaRosa, and if I can read this, the town council, or a certificate of appreciation to Maurice LaRosa. The town council, the town administration, and the entire community do hereby recognize Maurice LaRosa for his 14 years of service to the town of Enfield and the Zoning Board of Appeals, and we thank him for his dedication and selflessness to the town of Enfield. Signed, Mayor Crissati, today's date, February 28th, 2022. So I wish he was here so we could give this to him, but I am positive that you will extend our thanks to him, and
I know Mo is disappointed not being here tonight, but he's not feeling well, so we will share it with him and let him know how much you guys appreciate him.
perfect, thank you.
Thank you so much for doing that. Please let Mayor Bob know it's much appreciated. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, guys.
Moving on with our.
Tim, is this yours?
Yes, I just
Did you get the thought I left you?
got it. Okay, thank you very much.
I think it's gonna fit.
Looks like a two-part. We okay to move on?
We are.
Okay. Item 5, the town attorney report. Executive session, so we don't have one. The legal ad, we don't have any legal ads because we have no old business, we have no new business. So we're on to the approval of minutes of the January 24th meeting.
I'm missing page 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I only got 4 pages.
Same here.
Me too.
Yep.
I downloaded the other ones, but they just didn't copy the second side of the page, when I figured out, so.
So why don't we
Move to
Table.
table.
table them?
Move
To
to
the next-
table.
Okay, all those in favor? Yes?
Aye.
Aye.
So through the chairman, could you ask to Ben to resend out the minutes?
Yes. Ben, could you put the minutes in our next packet, all of the pages? Thank you.
Yeah, choose.
Did we not table the December ones too? We wanted more information in them?
We did.
I believe we did, yeah.
One of them fleshed out, as I recall. Yeah, I think you're absolutely
Right.
right.
So for next meeting, let's get the December minutes back on and get the full set of the January minutes.
May I ask a question about the minutes?
Sure, sure.
I noticed that there was a motion made, and they said it wasn't second. I could have sworn that that motion was made and seconded. That's,
This?
yeah. I went back and looked at it on the website, but it says motion made but not, and then it says not seconded. I think I seconded it.
I thought it was seconded. I remember it being seconded.
Yeah, I've never seen him do it that way. But if you could check on that, I'd really appreciate it.
I think you're going to need to give them a little more.
I will tell them exactly what that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I leave tonight, I'll circle it and give them
Okay.
my copy that I apologize.
No problem.
If I may, I apologize for being late.
Me too.
My son called me up with an emergency, and I'm sorry.
Correspondence and staff reports.
We just have the letter that was submitted to us from Attorney Landolina regarding the appeal of 1375 Enfield Street that you all received in your packets.
So, Mr. Chairman, I do have a question I'd like to ask the zoning enforcement officer.
Sure.
So now that we received this letter, and I don't know if you can tell us or not, but I'm assuming you went out to the property and looked when you were,
Don't assume.
okay? Because I knew that you were invited, or offered.
Well, they offered to allow me to do the inspection, and they were supposed to call with an inspection date. However, that never took place.
Okay.
So then they subsequently sent a letter saying that they would comply, but there is no inspection or has not been any inspection.
So how will they be in compliance if you haven't been able to go? We're going to look for.
I guess not until they actually put a mower out on the front lawn and they're in violation again. However, they were fully aware of the problems with the number of units, machinery on the property, and they were fully aware of the junk cars that were on the property. And subsequently, a notice of violation for a junkyard was issued. So one way or another, they may wind up back before you.
Okay, some way or another, they may.
So
Thank you.
just in the future, maybe we can suggest to if a situation arises like that, that there be a time limit set on the inspection rather than just leaving it up to the appellant to call me up.
I guess in my mind, the impression was it was imminent, and it was like, and again, you're probably right. We've all just learned another thing to make sure that we say, okay, by Friday.
Correct, yes.
I see. Well, thank you for elaborating.
However, if they pull it before that, you still can't go out and inspect, can you? Like if they say they're going to comply, then does that do away with the inspection, or?
Well, there's no way for me to tell that they're going to be complying because I can still see the junk cars through the fence that's there. And I mean, I would still go on with the next cease and desist because there's no way to verify that they're actually removed the junk from the property, unless there's an inspection. So unless there's some sort of verification, we can't say one way or the other whether or not they're complying.
Just a procedural question to the chair. Since we did not close that hearing, okay, and we put it off to do this, and they're sending us a letter saying that they're going to cooperate and meet all the regulations. That's my understanding of it. What happens? Is that hearing closed? Is it, what happened? Or is it just
It's
in
with,
Neverland?
it's withdrawn if they've withdrawn their appeal. So now it's back with Rick.
It becomes moot at that point once they comply.
Okay, but let's say, I see where we're going here. If this is not closed technically, and I'm just using technically, we did receive a letter. Couldn't we now put a date on the
Is it?
visit?
You would still have to comply with the allowing me onto the property.
But
Just because you say, go do the inspection,
doesn't mean,
doesn't mean anything because they're claiming that they're complying.
so it's over.
Yeah, so it becomes moot at this point.
Just learning curve.
Yeah, you can't be forced to go forward with an appeal,
Gotcha.
but that doesn't negate whatever other process might happen.
That was my point.
So technically, the process would just start all over again.
Well,
If there's a complaint.
but if they don't comply, they'll only come in front of us if the cease and desist isn't ceased. If he gives them one and they don't do it, then they're going to come back, maybe, in front of us. They may just do it, and then we won't see them.
Well, they may say it, but then I'll go to the next step. If they don't, then they get the citation. There's no way to verify it unless there's an inspection done on the property.
Right. Okay. So we need to be more careful and be more clear. Okay. Lesson learned.
Okay, we'll pass that in.
Pass that into
Send that up to staff. That's the item that was discussed during the minutes. He starred the top line.
Oh, the issue.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Okay. And anything else for the board? We've already handled other business with Maurice and thanked him for his service.
I make a motion to
I
adjourn.
have one
Oh,
question.
sorry.
Commissioner Turner, I know you sent the note to our state senate. Any update on the K-7? Have you heard anything
Oh.
related to that?
No, it hasn't come out for public hearing yet. I was told that I will be notified when it does, or at least we hope that it gets that far. So, anything we hear. So, do you know something?
Not regarding that, I'm just, if you're going to bring up that issue, I'll give you a little more information.
Well, we were talking about, we sent a request for a law change. That's what Commissioner Stroney's asking me about. So right now, no, I have not heard any more, but I will make sure that I follow up with it. But now you have my attention.
Well, you realize that you have not signed the,
I have not signed the K-7. 'cause
and
you were gonna
nor
get-
has he submitted a special use permit to approval for P and Z. And the last time I had a conversation with him was on February 1st, I believe, when he brought in a new K-7 that included the Buy Center of Enfield. So now that's all corrected, but he still has not satisfied the requirement for the use under P and Z requirements.
Correct.
So,
And the K-7 cannot be signed until he's done that.
so what's happened is, if you remember, the first, the cease and desist order was for not coming before this board to get a location approval,
Right.
and also the signage. Well, I had to go back to the very beginning with a notice of violation because now he's not in compliance with the regulations for that use. So a citation will be issued for the violation of the signage, but we have to start again with the notice of violation for the not being an approved use. So hopefully it lights a fire and we get some movement on it.
Do we know if they're still in operation?
Oh, they are in operation,
I
and
thought.
so that becomes an issue in itself. So we're trying to,
Well, do they automatically, does the fining system start, or is that not?
once a citation, but the problem with the citation is in the citation, when I sent it to him originally in a notice of violation, was that he didn't come before your board for a location approval. So, and the signage that's up, that hasn't been approved. So I can't issue a citation for not coming before you because he has, but he hasn't gone to P and Z. So that portion of the violation is out the window right now. So now it starts with not being approved by P and Z.
Okay, would you please make sure that the K-7 doesn't somehow get signed without my signature?
There's only one or two people that are going to sign it. It's either you or me, and that's not happening.
Okay. Because I know that there was discussion that signage part be removed from the ZBA's job, and I don't think that's a wise idea. So as long as you and I are on the same page,
It's not, he needs to go before P and Z for an approval for the location.
so now you'll start pushing him in that direction, either he will or he will not.
Yeah, the other issue, Ben actually found it on their website. I wasn't really aware of it, but if you go to the two websites that they have, Crazy J's and Buy Center of
Right.
Enfield, they're advertising cars for sale. And the application form, along with the narrative, indicated and he presented to you that they were just buying vehicles. So it's an actual dealership if you look at everything there, so.
Right, and that's what I saw when I looked them up.
So,
That's what I saw, because you can, and they're advertising.
Right.
I've
And
seen-
they advertise that they'll come to your house and they buy cars from you at your house. So,
So it's the business, and that's why, how do you cease and desist, and they're not ceasing nor desisting, and they're still running.
and they're expanding.
and there's no parking over there. So-
Well, sooner or later, sooner or later it'll get rectified. It's just a matter of time. That's the problem.
Well, you keep plugging along, sir. Anybody?
Anything else? The board? No.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We are adjourned.
Thanks, everybody. That was-